Hi, this is Claire from Yarntastic. I'm going to show you today how to cable cast on as part of my Yarntastic Guide to Knitting Lesson 1 over on my blog, myyarntasticadventures.co.uk. Hope you find this useful. Cable cast on is a way of casting on using 2 needles, and it provides a firm but a little bit stretchy edge, and it's also very neat. I use this pretty much 95% of the time for my cast-ons. So to start with, you'll need some knitting needles and you'll need some yarn. I'm going for a nice shade of purple here because it's my favourite. And first of all, you need to make a slip knot to begin. So in case you've never made a slip knot before, a slip knot is just where it's an adjustable knot, basically. So if you take your yarn with the tail, loose tail at this end, and then if you take your yarn and you wrap it round your finger anti-clockwise, it looks like that, then take this bit and just tuck it under on your finger, push it through, pull a loop, and then as you pull it, it'll tighten off, and then you can adjust it by pulling it that way, and when you pull it, it undoes it completely. So do that again, round your finger anti-clockwise, push through, pull through, and there's your slip knot. This pretty much is the way to begin every cast on. So now we're just going to put that onto our needle and tighten it so that it's snug but still slides. Okay, so I'm right-handed and I also knit English style, which if you've been reading my blog, you'll know there's a number of different ways to hold. So I'm going to hold my needle with my yarn on its slip knot in my left hand, and use this needle on the right to help create my new stitches and cast on more. Now to start off with, I'm going to put my needle into that loop from the right side and through the middle of the loop from front to back. And then I'm going to take my working yarn, which is the yarn attached to the ball of wool. Oh, sorry. Let's do that again. So we'll do that. Excuse the dropsies. And then I'm going to take the working yarn and I'm going to take it around the right hand needle clockwise from underneath so that it's over the needle like that. So hopefully you can see that. And then I'm going to use the tip of the needle to pull that loop, through the slip knot that's on my left needle. So when you open out, you should be able to see, you can pull this all tighter in a minute, you should be able to see that you've now got your slip knot here and a stitch attached to it there. Now we need to transfer this stitch to our left needle. So I'm going to put the point into this loop here from right to left and through it and transfer it. And there you go. 2 stitches on your needle. Now, the first stitch is done different to the rest of the stitches, just because it's the first stitch and to make sure it's all nicely attached. Now you can carry on casting on in that way using the next stitches, and that's a knit cast on. But it tends to be a looser edge and not quite as neat as the cable that I'm about to show you. So for the cable cast on, if you look, you've got your 2 stitches, and we want to put our needle through the middle of those 2 stitches. not between any of the stitches, just into the loops of the stitches, just between that gap there. So put your needle through, and then we're going to do exactly the same as we did with the first stitch. We're going to take our yarn and wrap it clockwise up and over, and then we're going to pull through a loop between those 2 stitches on your left hand needle, and then we're going to transfer it by going almost underneath it in a way, but from right to left through the loop, and pull tight. And there you have it, 3 stitches. So I'll do that again. You get between the most recent 2 stitches on your needle, and put your needle, your right needle, through that gap, wrap under and over, pull through, and transfer. And that's how it looks. And if you look closely, you'll find that you get this nice neat edge, and you can see kind of the 2 stitches wrapping underneath. Okay, I hope you find that useful. Just keep casting on in that way until you've got as many stitches as you need, and then you'll be ready to start learning the knit stitch, which will be in my next video. Thank you for watching, and bye.